Here's another game between Shadow and LunatonePKM. Less spectators this time, but still the same map, Xel'Naga Caverns. Everyone knows this one inside and out, but PvP, anything can happen. Here is Shadow, the pink Protoss player, and on the other side is a blue Protoss, a LunatonePKM. PvP, so we're probably going to be seeing some 4-gate. Yep, and I'm casting again. Last time I caught them off guard, I just randomly started fraps and just recorded it. So we'll see what we see this time. Maybe we're going to be seeing the same thing. Shadow says, hi YouTube, and no, it's not live streamed, no. Unfortunately, it's not live streamed, but I'll get some exciting games for live stream sometime soon. Again, please remember to subscribe if you do like what you see here. You can also check out my live stream. I usually have it on Team Liquid if I am live. Don't usually get that many viewers on it, but that's okay. So it does look like Shadow is getting a pylon at the bottom of his ramp. That's a deviation. He's also getting it. What a strange thing to be doing. There's no gateway. What's going on? Looks like Lunatone is doing basically the same thing. He's got a probe checking around. Here comes 2 gateways down at the bottom of Shadow's ramp. There is going to be a rush. There's a forge coming up for Lunatone, so this game is not 4-gate by any means. There's going to be a... Oh yeah, I was asking someone if he would like to play against Lunatone. We're gonna look at some blank space for a second, and nothing exciting is gonna happen in this PvP. Oh, nothing exciting just yet, except for these 2 gateways at the bottom of the ramp. Lunatone is gonna scout it. He's got his forge up. He's gonna be cannon rushing. There's the cannon pylon going down. It's not really a cannon, but the pylon for the cannon is going down. It does get spotted by Shadow, so it does look like Lunatone is going to have to move his probe back. Gets taken out. 2 Zealots being produced right now. What's his response going to be? Is he going to expand? Are you crazy? Okay, no. There's 2 pylons over here. Shadow is not responding to those just because there's not much of a chance of a cannon being made back there. The Zealot is out on the field now for Shadow. There is another probe coming back up here to build the cannons. Another probe on the way. Lunatone is committing to this cannon rush. He's building a cannon in his main, now resuming the production of probes. These 2 pylons are just being left alone. That probe is making its way up into the main. Shadow is pulling a couple of probes off to fight it off. He's got to kill this probe before it gets back there and makes a cannon. And it does block it. Lunatone does not get to put a cannon down. Another probe is moving its way in there. There is another pylon going down in the same spot. Shadow is going to have to micro his Zealots back. And there are cannons now going down in the main of Shadow's base. There's 3 cannons going down right away. The Zealot is chasing after that probe. Is going to be moving back to deal with that pylon, but is there anything that he can do about these cannons that are coming up? He's got the probes just zapping away here. Lunatone does have his probe back here. Gonna throw down another cannon. Shadow does manage to secure enough minerals for an expansion, so in case any of these cannons do get up, he needs to let his Zealots in there and to be able to clean this cannon up. If he does do that, it'll be a really easy cleanup duty here. There we go, finally killing those cannons off. Lunatone cancels that cannon and is going to salvage his probe. Is going to do some annoying mining harass here. Going to be stealing some minerals. If this game goes into the late game, it will come down to that last 5 minerals that was stolen just now. Another probe coming in here, going to be continuing to distract Shadow. Let's just take a look at income. Harvesters for Shadow is 11 harvesters. Just a couple of Zealots here. I would say leave this pylon alone and go for the attack. There's not that much here except for that 1 cannon. However, it's in such a great position. There's the cyber core going down, gas going down for Lunatone. He's just ahead. There's an expansion coming up for Shadow. He's gonna be pylon blocked. Guys going in gas finally gonna start getting the tech up. Lunatone is gonna guard the Xel'Naga Watchtower. He's just so far ahead because of the harassment that he's done. He's got so many more harvesters, 23 to 12. We'll see if Shadow is able to climb back into this game. More pylons going down. Great job from Lunatone doing the harassment. We're now 7 minutes into this game. Usually by now somebody is dead, but this is not the case. Looks like Zealots are advancing in here. There's only one Zealot out on the field for Lunatone. These Zealots could do a lot of damage. It's just that one cannon. The probes may be dragged into this fight. Zealots are being made, sentries being made, rallied to the backside. That cannon is going to start dealing the damage to these Zealots from Shadow. Going to be piling in here, going to make their way around to this side. Another cannon going down. The probes getting all pulled off the line. Can Lunatone hold this? He's got this one cannon that's just shooting away a Stalker on the backside as well. This probe's getting microed back. The Stalker is being controlled very well. Going to drag Zealots back to this cannon. Shadow is going to back out of here. He should not be satisfied with the damage that he's done. However, the sentry is out. Will be denying entry into this main. However, Shadow does have his natural expansion up. Going to be transferring a couple of probes down there. Is chrono boosting the cybernetics core. This game has been the most exciting game of PvP I've ever casted, actually. Oh man, finally getting a little breather here. Both players are normalizing a little bit. Lunatone does have this forge here. We'll be able to get those upgrades sooner than Shadow can. Shadow is going to continue chrono boosting out Stalkers. Maybe do another poke at the front. We'd probably like to see him do some a little bit more tech to see if he can come back into this game. Maybe even get a Dark Shrine, throw down a couple of extra gas and try to use that to climb back into this game. Maybe try to do some probe damage if Lunatone decides to expand, or just use the DTs to hold off pushes like this one. Looks like Lunatone is advancing forward. Is he gonna bring a probe along? Does not look like it so far. There's just these Stalkers. There are 7 Stalkers, 1 sentry advancing forward against 4 Stalkers, 4 Zealots for Shadow. There's another pylon coming up to be able to guard these robotics facility coming up. However, this push is now in Shadow's natural expansion. He's going to have to pull his probes off mining if he is unable to hold against this. The Zealots being microed against that sentry is going to get taken out. More units getting warped in here for Shadow, and he's going to back up after losing that Zealot. Lunatone is going to continue advancing forward. Chrono Boost going down on the gateways. He's got a lot of money stockpiled up. He did not make enough gateways early enough. The Chrono Boost will allow him to get some additional units. He's not pulling his probes just yet. The probes getting pulled off mining. He's continuing to let those Stalkers do some damage here. However, he is allowed to warp in a couple more Zealots here. It does look like Lunatone's units are trapped back here. Additional Stalkers reinforcing from the backside is going to deal some damage to these Stalkers. Still unable to produce additional units. These Stalkers are doing plenty of damage. However, they're just shooting at the Nexus right now. More Stalkers being warped in for Shadow. Can he hold this off? The Stalkers are getting picked off. It's just 3 Stalkers left for Shadow, and his expansion will probably go down if this continues this way. He does have his Robo finishing up, and Immortal has been chrono boosted out. It is now out on the field. He will be able to use that to hold off these Stalkers. He needs to get out there immediately. Another Immortal going down. He needs to chrono boost that. He's got chrono boost at this Nexus. He's got to use it before it goes down. Stalkers advancing forward. There is the Immortal popping out. It looks like Lunatone is going to have to back up for this because of the one Immortal. We'll be able to smash Stalkers. Look at the speed at which it destroys Stalkers. Lunatone is going to try to pick off as many Stalkers as he possibly can. The Immortal dealing sick damage. 0 kills on it. 4 kills. I was clicked on a Stalker. 4 kills on that Immortal. Huge amounts of damage, and it does look like at the same time Lunatone has secured his natural expansion and is working on a Twilight Council. Oh, another breather. Alright, so additional gateways have been thrown up by Shadow. He does have the economy to be able to support this now. He's been continuously making probes, a good hallmark of a strong player. He's going to advance forward against these Stalkers. Lunatone is at a tech disadvantage, throwing down another gateway, additional Zealots being warped in. His expansion is about finished, but here comes a push from Shadow. 2 Immortals, several Stalkers, 2 Zealots advancing forward. Lunatone is gonna have to try to defend against this. The Stalkers are a little bit too far ahead. He's got to pull those back to his Immortal. The Immortal's got to be microed to shoot against those Stalkers and not against the Zealots if he wants to do the damage. He's warping in a proxy pylon. A sentry is also joining the fray. He's going to continue making the probes. Another pylon is being warped in so that he can continue making those units. He's just poking around right now. It does look like Lunatone's Twilight Council is finished and is now researching Blink, but here comes the engagement. The Stalkers are in the back. The Immortals are being forced to shoot against the Stalkers. That one Immortal is going to get taken down. The Stalkers and the Zealots from Lunatone are advancing forward. This Immortal in the back is going to get picked off too. It's trying to back up, but it's trapped. The Zealots are just hitting it in the face. This is a little bit of a bad control by Shadow. That Immortal, who was a mentor, is getting taken out. Are more Immortals on the way? No, there's one coming out right now. Lunatone is free to deal damage to these buildings over here. More Stalkers, more Zealots, I mean, being warped in. Gonna get those up front and try to push this force back, which will soon be Blink Stalkers. This is gonna be a horrible situation if Shadow cannot get more Immortals out onto the field and micro them correctly. Looks like Lunatone is still sticking to those 4 gateways, and the engagement is continuing to happen here. Shadow is warping in more Zealots to help push these Stalkers back. Blink is complete, so he can use that Blink micro to full effect. There's an Immortal out on the field now. He's got to keep making those Immortals. There is a Colossus coming out. The Colossus Den is complete. Not quite able to research the extended thermal lance yet, but Lunatone is finally getting a stable second base up. He's throwing down additional gateways. Going to continue the Blink Stalker pressure. This game is just a pressure back and forth. The Stalkers advancing forward. He's going to start shooting away at these pylons. Shadow has got to engage right now. He's going to lose that pylon. Not getting supply block though. Stalkers, Zealots advancing forward. The Immortal not in position to deal the sick damage that it needs to do. The Colossus has now spawned. Usually this ends harassment. However, Lunatone's micro has just been impeccable. There's the Colossus advancing forward. He wants to make sure that he does not get that picked off. The Blink being used, and that was a really interesting laser blast there. Just dragging along this probe, making sure that this Xel'Naga tower is safe. 2 gateways finishing and immediately turning into warp gates right now. Wow, this is so intensive on the warp gates for Lunatone. No robotics yet, no Stargate up. Shadow is throwing down the second gas, going to continue making those probes. A Chrono Boost on a Nexus not making anything. His money is getting a little bit high. I'd like to see him maybe try to throw down additional gateways to be able to warp in more Zealots. These are the Zealots warping in right now. Another Colossus has been started. The Blink Stalkers are advancing forward. Going to be blinking back. That Colossus is being sniped. These Stalkers are blinking on top of the Zealots though, and these Colossus does not get taken out. It's going to continue to be able to deal the damage. However, it does just go down. However, Lunatone has sacrificed a large percentage of his Stalkers. Just 3 left from that engagement. This Immortal's got 4 kills. Shadow's warped in a ton of Stalkers. Looks like Shadow's money is continuing to get high. That next Colossus has spawned now. Is going to be able to throw down another base, actually. He's got so much money in the bank. Lunatone is being quite good about keeping his money down. There, the extra gateways being thrown down will be able to get a ton of Zealots to push back these Blink Stalker forces. And the Colossus is now out on the field. A Forge is going down for Shadow as well. Look at the production tab for Shadow. The force field's going down, and this Colossus is going to be able to stomp over them. The production tab for Shadow is just immense. He's even getting a Forge up somewhere to be able to get the upgrades. Shadow is looking very far ahead right now. It looks like he should be able to take this game. There is the robotics facility finally up for Lunatone. Maybe he wants to take a quick 3rd base to be able to climb back into this. I like to see Shadow do some pushing right now. See if he can force Lunatone's hand. He is mined out in the main. He won't be able to get Colossus anytime soon because of this. He's got so many gateways. If Shadow is just get a couple more Colossus, get the extended thermal lance. He does have it, so he can just do a push right now, and it might just end the game. The Blink Stalkers, even if they have the superior mobility, they just can't do anything if Shadow just pushes in and there's nowhere else to blink to. The Colossus Den only just now finished for Lunatone. He's saving up the minerals to be able to make a Colossus. However, he's also trying to get this Nexus up. Here comes Shadow's push. He's got the Stalkers up front, and he's got to make sure the Zealots are in front in order for this push to be doing the maximal amount of damage. The Colossus is being chrono boosted by Lunatone, and there are the Stalkers in the back of the Zealots in the front. The force field being thrown down, however, it's just not that good with the Colossus over there backing it up. The Colossus are dealing sick amounts of damage. Gonna be able to deal so much damage to these Stalkers. Blinking back to the mineral line. Is there anything that Lunatone can do to stay in this game? He's waiting for that Colossus. All the probes getting pulled off the line. Gonna be trying to take that Immortal out. That Immortal is feeling really sad. It is the one Immortal that gets wiped out. These Colossus is getting taken down. Looks like Lunatone might be able to defend, but at what cost? All of those probes are going down. He does have his expansion up, so if Shadow is unable to deal with this expansion, he will be behind because he is mined out in his main. There's nothing left here. Shadow has been pushed back, and the Blink Stalkers are able to snipe one Stalker before it backs up. Shadow does know about the expansion, so he's going to have to secure his expansion as soon as possible. He's transferring all his probes out, making a ton more units. He has another Colossus out on the field. However, Lunatone is just not going to be able to produce much because he's lost so many probes. Look at the probe saturation here, and look at the few number of probes here, and just look at the oversaturation here. If Shadow can just get another base and do another straight push, this could mean the end of the game for Lunatone. Here comes Lunatone's push. He knows he's got to do some damage. Look at Shadow's horse. It's just gigantic. He even has the +1. Lunatone does not. Here comes the advance forward. Looks like this Colossus at least will be going down. Shadow is going to be able to advance forward and deal a ton more damage. No more Colossus are on the way right now. It looks like Shadow is content to move back. A probe over here is going to continue to scout and is going to see another Colossus spawning. There's not that many units left here for Lunatone. He's just got these Blink Stalkers and these 5 Stalkers back at home. He's going to be advancing forward. Shadow is a little bit out of position. All of these probes could technically go down. He's going to have to pull back. The Blink Stalker force is getting trapped in here, though. The Nexus is being focused down. Can he take the Nexus down? Here comes Shadow's force is being the Stalkers blinking over here, not able to take Nexus down. A force field going down. Not sure who that is actually going to help. The Blink Stalkers are going to make their escape out of this side. Great micro by Lunatone, but this force, when your opponent is doing crazy things, just go kill them, as Day9 always says. Here comes the advancement, going to be taking out the remainder of the Blink Stalkers. Again, the Colossus animation is just great. It just continues zapping the ground as if it just does not care. Here comes Shadow's push, is going to be able to take this base out. The probes will be forced off of mining again. This expansion is going to go down very rapidly. The probes even getting caught while transferring the Colossus, wiping a ton of them out. The expansion goes down, and the Blink Stalkers are over here dealing a ton of damage to these probes. However, this force by Shadow, it just doesn't care. In comes the base trade. He can even just use some of the probes to fight these Stalkers, maybe. Warp in a ton of units. He's got so much money in the bank. This natural expansion goes down, and Shadow takes down Lunatone's natural expansion as well. The probes are getting wiped out over here. The +1 armor is being researched by Shadow. He's going to be cleaning up over here. The Colossus Den going down. All the probes are just kind of running around. What is going on? He needs to warp in more units. The probes are over here. Maybe they'll establish base on this side of the map. Lunatone is building pylons over here. Pylon over here. But there's not much going on over here for him. A couple of Stalkers being warped in on the high ground by Shadow. He's chrono boosting them. It's going to prevent Lunatone's advance over here, while Shadow is going to be able to continue to move in here. He's got to attack, move in a little bit so that all of his units can participate in this base trade. Looks like Lunatone is gonna start advancing forward. There's just these stalkers. It looks like the blink is being used. Gonna be able to take these out. Shadow is gonna be re-establishing base over here, building a pylon. He can even build a nexus maybe. He doesn't actually have enough money for that. Oh no. Looks like it's gonna come down to the probes following along with the army and building pylons. It's gonna have to come down to taking out of these two pylons and whether or not Lunatone can actually defend against that. These probes are unable to mine because there is no nexus. Here comes a couple of stalkers are gonna be advancing to these locations to try to pick that off. Lunatone is being revealed right now. The base trade does continue though. The blink stalkers are just queuing up the kills. Shadow is being revealed as well. All of the forces moving in this direction. This one pylon over here is going to take some time for the blink stalkers to get to, while Shadow has found this pylon and is advancing to this other one. This probe needs to get moved to maybe... Oh, he does not have enough for another pylon. GG calls Lunatone. This game goes to Shadow. Good game. A very exciting PvP all the way through. Super epicness. This is Aegis signing off. Please remember to subscribe.